Okay. Happy New Year to everybody again. And today we will see a very important. We'll discuss on a very important topic that is uh, known as communication. Uh, I have already shared the notes and all that in your Google class yesterday. Uh, as you know, mm, in any circumstance, in any everywhere actually, communication is very important. So the same is here in our management. In the management also, communication is a very vital part for the managers. Good communication ability is a very vital quality. It is considered as very vital quality for a manager. Communication is very much important, and you have already done some of some classes on business communication and all that. I hope that was in your previous semesters. So I think all of you know how much it is important uh, to express your thoughts, to express your thinking to other person. So basically, today we will see what is communication. You know that, I know, but we will just revisit it little bit, and we will try to understand what is the importance, what are the importance of communication, and what are the different types of communication. Because you know, communication, it has different type. Communication have different type. When you are writing something to express your thought, that is, you are communicating by writing the thing. When you are speaking to somebody, so it is a verbal kind of communication. When you are not writing, not speaking, but some other kind of communication, like from your body language, like your gesture, posture, so that is another kind of communication. We call it non-verbal communication. So, and these things you know little bit. So today we will basically discuss about it. So uh, in our syllabus, we have to cover different types of communication, process and barriers of communication, and some strategies to overcome the barriers. That means barrier means here what we want to say is that what are the different limitations? What are the limitations of communication? Because there are some limitations. Like right now, I'm communicating with you, and our limitation is, if suppose this network breaks down, so our communication will lost. So that is kind of limitation. Sometimes it happens that we cannot express ourselves due to some shortage of words and all that. So that is also a limitation. So sometimes that is barriers also. So we will today basically we will see what are the different types of communication. In our subsequent classes, we will see what are the barriers and what are the strategies to overcome the barriers and all that. So basically, you know, and as I'm telling you that there are formal types of communication and there are informal types of communication. Even some communication is oral communication, which is face to face, and some communication is oral communication, but it is distance. So right now we are in a distance oral communication mode, you can say. Sometimes it is written communication, sometimes non-verbal type of communication, sometimes some terminologies are there which is known as grapevine communication. I hope you know that what is grapevine communication. I will ask you, we will discuss. So grapevine communication, sometimes feedback communication. So we get some feedback um, from the other end. We get some, when we get some feedback from other end, we can call it feedback communication. So these are some again some visual communication. Sometimes we are active listeners, sometimes we are passive listeners. In some cases we use sign languages, especially for the deaf community and all that. Mm, when it happens, sometimes it happens that some individual is suffering from the speech disability. So there are some hearing impairments, there are some speech uh, therapy and all that. But uh, it is one thing is very important, that is when we are communicating, especially face to face and like that. So it is necessary for the individual uh, to keep the facial expression normal. Uh, Also, is also for a manager, it is also very important to understand that in which situation, what type of communication will be better accepted. And also the types of communication that we put into our operation. I mean, what type of communication, what method of communication we will follow, that is dependent upon the needs and the requirements of our audience, of the individuals with whom we are interacting, and also on the depends. It also depends on the purpose of it. So, as a whole, what you can say is that communication is basically it depends on our requirement. Sometimes it is situational, and obviously it is limited to some factors. The factors what I just told you, like I mean, how much a particular person who is communicating is able to uh, express his thoughts in words when it is an oral communication or like that, or written communication. So from this point of view, there are different types of communication modes have evolved, like verbal communication and non-verbal communication, and which is very important for any manager. And that's why communication, it's a very vital, it's a very major subject. It's a major subject in management. Every B schools, if you go to every B school, every good B school, they stress upon this. Uh, Even in your college also, we arranged different types of different classes on communications. Though it is unfortunate that in most of the classes we have found that students are missing. They are not interested as because that is not in their syllabus. But the thing is that it is equally important as any subject of your syllabus. So that's why we always try to uh, give you these facilities so that you can brush up your communication, because mm, all of us, we are not very we are not coming from the same schooling background and all that. So there are lots of students we found in different B schools also. uh, Somebody is very much capable in writing, but it's not capable to speak and English is the basic medium, that is fortunate or unfortunate, whatever it may be, but English is the basic medium of communication in our country, in all over the world actually. And so we found that some people, they are very good in writing, but are not equally good in speaking. Some people are very good in speaking in English, but are not uh, capable to write that much. And not only this kind of communication, again, as I have told you that non-verbal communication is also very important. That's why these soft skills and all that, these things have evolved, and it is very much important for you in your this principle of management, under this principle of management syllabus. That's why these types of communication, these things, this has been included, as because you should know that what is communication and what is the importance of communication and all that. So in today's topic, we will discuss on communication. We will discuss on facial expression, formal, informal communication, sign languages, these things basically. Uh, so before going into the detail, I want to ask you that what is your opinion? I mean, how much communication is important for a manager? Is it important at all, or uh, how much it is important? Especially, I'm talking about the um, uh, non-verbal communication, when we are not speaking directly, we are not using any verb, we are not using any verbose, we are just non-verbal communication. That means we are not using any uh, words or like that, some other kind of thing, like we are using some sign languages or from our body language and all that. So I want to ask you that what do you think, what is your opinion about this? I mean, how much it is important for a manager? I'm talking about the perspective of manager, as because you are going to be managers, a future manager. You have to manage an organization, uh, or I mean, like that, your own business, or maybe you will be hired somewhere as a manager. So what do you think? uh, yeah. Shoimantik, I have seen Shoimantik has raised his hand. Anybody else? I mean, Shoimantik, I'm coming to you. আমি যারা যারা বলতে চাই তাদের হাতগুলো একটু দেখতে চাই। So I've got two hand raised. One is Shoimantik, another is Vishwajit. But I want to, I'm going to you people, uh, but I want to get it from somebody else. Like here, I'm saying that lots of people are there. So I want to start with somebody else, like Wasim Alam. If you want to say something about this, Wasim, please talk to us. I want to listen from you, Wasim. Wasim, please. Yes. Please tell us, according to you, how much nonverbal is important for a manager?
Non
You just keep your speaker at some distance from your mouth. I mean, স্পিকারটাকে তুমি মুখের থেকে একটু দূরে রাখো। Okay, so that is basically showing a limitation of communication in this kind of communication. Okay, so coming to somebody else, I'm coming to Bappa Kormokar. Please share your views. Washim's it is limitation. I think his system is not working properly. Bappa, if you can say something, please. Bappa, কিছু বলো। I don't think Bappa is listening. So if Bappa is not listening, then this is useless to be in here. Then I have to throw you out, Bappa, from class, because here we have to communicate. We are talking about we are studying about communication, and if you are not communicating, then it is useless. So Bappa Kormokar, do you want to say something, Bappa Kormokar? Next is I'm coming to Pritha. Pritha, please say something. Pritha?
Hello?
Yes, Pritha. Huh?
So can you
Yes.
hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, Pritha, please.
So when we speak about non-verbal communication, we usually say about body movement or the posture, the gesture, the eye contact, or how the person is speaking, their voice and touch, and how they're paying attention. So in case, so if we consider this point, and when we are a manager is communicating, like if he's always rude or his moods are not that good. He's not smiling or he's not appreciating his subordinates. Or early in the morning when his subordinates are greeting him, he's not responding or not giving a little smile also. Or when their subordinates are doing um, any good work without saying any word, he can just tap the back to just appreciate their work like this. So it's very important that a manager should non-verbally communicate with their subordinates. It's important.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Pritha. Thank you. So Pritha has told us some importance of non-verbal communication. So it is rightly so. I also agree with Pritha's point of view. Now I want to ask the same question to Sochin, because Sochin has joined us after some long days. I have seen that Sochin was not there for some days in some classes. So Sochin, if you are listening, please respond. Sochin Prasad. Sochin, are you listening? Is that some problem? Sochin. Okay. It's very unfortunate. Bishwajit, bolo. Samanto, Bishwajit Samanto. বলো
স্যার পুরোটাই মানে পুরো কমিউনিকেশনটাই বলছি স্যার মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি কমিউনিকেশন অ্যাকচুয়ালি ইজ ভেরি মাচ ইম্পর্টেন্ট nowadays for the managers. Just because of that, it plays some major role in decision making, in ideas, making plans, and lots of other things. And suppose we have to take quick decisions, and then we can take some quick response from the subordinates. And this could be a very important thing for the manager to simplicity of that thing. And if we share about the non-verbal communication, then we can communicate by our actions. As Peter have said, suppose by our facial expression, posture, gesture, or by our tone of the voice. Okay, so sometimes when we speak uh, speak in a clear or a laughing mood, then at that time it means we are enjoying or we are actually giving someone to say something. So non-verbal communication actually very much important for everyone in an organization. So that's the
Okay, though your voice is not very clear, but what I have got, some point we have got from your, yeah, I got some point. It's okay. Thank you, Vishwajit.
okay, sir.
It was nice. Um, yeah, Shoimantik, if you want to add something on it, please tell us. If you want to add something on Pritha and Vishwajit, what they
Yeah,
have.
Biswajit has already said the word, that's the lines that I wanted to say, that yes, the eye contact, basically the rotating of the movement of the eyes, the body posture. The body posture is the most important thing that is used as non-verbal communication. Like if you give your body at a rest mode, like just in a resting mode, then it shows that you are not confident, you are just too reluctant to be in the meeting or to hearing someone. But if you are always charged up mode, like you are in attention position, okay, you keep your bones straight, you have a chin face, upward face, you're having your body aligned. So this clearly shows that you are in a serious mood and you are clearly listening the things that is being said in the meeting or when you are talking to anyone else. And this not only gives you a confidence to you but also boosts the confidence who is speaking, because when the speaker speaks, he always wants his audience to be an attentive
Can
listener.
you
So
can
when
you can you say, Shoimantik, I'm just interrupting you. Can you say
yes,
some negative points of this? I mean, negative points of non-verbal communication. I mean,
Negative points of non-verbal communication. Yeah, there are some negative points of non-verbal communication. Like most of the people are not too much good in getting those things. Like if I'm showing my body posture to someone, or if I'm doing my keeping my hand like this or something like that, if I'm keeping having a most movement in my eyes, people don't usually get it. They sometimes interpret it wrong, or sometimes they think that he's a crook type, something like that. So every time what the non-verbal movement do not have a good impact on the person who is seeing that. I've seen many a times, because when I used to contact with the most of the teachers in my school life, I have seen the teachers thought that I was a mad guy, because who does it like that. But later I am seeing that thing, yes, people can see it, can find it what I'm going to say. So it depends on the uh, person who's in front of you, how good is he in taking on those
yeah.
indications, like the
So yeah,
directions
yeah,
that
yeah. That is you are right. Actually, that is the thing. What we are discussing. That is
yes, yes.
what type of mode you will acquire. What type of communication? I'm telling it, telling this thing to everybody actually. What type of communication mode you will acquire, that is basically situation dependent, that is basically based on your needs and requirements, and that is basically you have to assess that who is sitting in your front, what is you have to judge about your audience. I mean, are they capable to take these things, are they capable enough to take these things, or you should take some other way, you should opt some other approach. So that is another very important aspect. I mean, what you have to follow. So you are right. So that is what talking about. So clear communication is basically is indispensable. If you have a clear communication uh, then that is very important, very important. Your communication should be clear. uh, uh, I mean, when the individuals need to ensure that actually they are able to convey the necessary ideas, perspectives, or viewpoints and information to individuals in an appropriate manner, that can be easily understood, and one would be able to implement these tasks very successfully. Mm, uh, that is, I mean, very much, I mean, welcoming thing. So you have to communicate your ideas, your thoughts, your perspectives, your viewpoints uh, to your audience very clearly, very clearly. Uh, so that is, we have, it is written in your these notes and all that what I have shared with you. Now, types of communication, if we see, we have already discussed, but basically টাইপস অফ কমিউনিকেশন আমরা যদি ওভারঅল দেখি তাহলে আমরা এগুলো পাই। একটা হচ্ছে ভার্বাল টাইপ অফ কমিউনিকেশন, another is non-verbal type of communication, another is visual communication, another is written communication. So these are the basic type of communications what we found. Verbal communication, that is what we are right now we are doing. Non-verbal communication, Pitha has discussed, Vishwajit has discussed, even Shamantik has added some points on it. So non-verbal communication, that is we are not using any words and all that. It is basically how your emotions, where you have to assess, you have to judge the emotion of the audience, and based on that you have to, and your body language, your gesture, posture, your all these things will be judged by your audience as well. I mean, just you just imagine that a doctor, suppose you are visiting a doctor, and your doctor, you are ill, you are, suppose you are sick, suppose you are sick and you have visited a doctor's place, and your doctor is very um, uh, I mean, he is just doing his duty. He is just giving, checking he's just giving your giving medicines to you, prescribing medicines to you, but he's not interacting much with you. He is not smiling and all that. A doctor, so when you will visit a doctor, and if he or she smiles to you, and that will be a very, I mean, I think there you will get some confidence if you are very seriously sick and all that. But if you can found this kind of doctor who is at first at least giving you a big smile, interacting with you, saying that okay, if it is okay, it is absolutely fine, you will be, you will be okay in few days. uh, the words, these words are very vital, and that's why uh, nowadays actually, you must have heard that counselors, there are different kinds of counselors, different types of counselors are there. Psychological counselors I'm talking about, I'm not talking about political counselors. Psychological counselors, um, they are doing this kind of job. They try to understand what is your mental frame of mind, what is the status of your mental frame of mind, and they want to they talk with you, talk to you, and uh, you can share your feelings, your thoughts with them. And by talking and all that, sometimes they also use some non-verbal communication, sometimes they have some therapies they use. So by that, by communicating, this is basically purely, I think this is purely based on, I'm not a psychologist, but what I have found from a psychologist who is very near to me. I have found that it is basically nothing but a communication therapy. By
The placebo
communicating,
effect, sir.
yeah, right. That is the power of communication. I want to, what I want to say you, that is the power of communication actually. And then visual communication, you can understand that, that's why I am showing right now, I'm displaying these notes in front of your eyes. So that is basically visual communication. That is basically, you can see these notes as well as we are talking. So this is a visual communication. It is also very effective. Mm, That's why we do we prepare different PowerPoint presentations on all that in our business communication and all that. That will be very important in your career in future. Lots of PPTs you have to present, lots of PPTs you have to prepare and you have to present in front of your audience and all that, your customers, whatever you say, your clients and all, as a manager or to your boss. So that is visual communication. And then written communication, it's a very oldest type of communication and conventional communication method, that is written communication. uh, these are the basic types of communication. Apart from that, if we think types of communication uh, from our organizational point of view, as we are thinking it from the manager's perspective. So if we think from the organization's perspective, organizational communication perspective, then according to organizational structure, your communication could be formal or informal. In some organizations only formal communication is entertained, and in some organizations you see I mean there is no such formal communication, only informal communications are entertained. I mean, again, this can be a debate, this can be a topic of debate, which is better, or which we should follow, or why it is like that. That can be a topic of debate any day. So according to organizational structure, we can divide it in formal communication and informal communication. Again, according to the direction of information flow in an organization, direction of information flow in an organization, we can divide it in downward communication, upward communication, or horizontal communication. Now you see, you know that already, I hope. The downward communication means when information is flowing from the upper management level to lower management level. So from the unstructured information to it is becoming structured information, because you know that in lower level of management they deal with the structured information, and in upper level management they deal with unstructured information. So obviously the unstructured information is coming from the upper level of management and it is becoming structured in lower level of management. That is a kind of thought, you can say. Downward communication. Then upward communication, the reverse thing. From the bottom level, from the operational level manager, it is going to the company bosses, CEOs and all that. So that is upward communication. Another is horizontal communication, the communication you are making with your peer, with your colleagues. So that is horizontal communication. Suppose two departmental heads, they are communicating among each other, between each other. So that is basically horizontal, that is becoming horizontal communication. So that is another approach of communication, another type of communication, according to direction of the information flow. Another is according to expression. Now, how we are expressing our thoughts, that is we have also covered already. There is oral communication and written communication. So this can be the another different type of communication from the organization's perspective, especially formal and informal. So our next topic will be this. I mean, I want to listen some points on this formal and informal communication from you. You just think. I mean, whether you will support formal communication or informal communication. I want to listen some viewpoints, your viewpoints. I want to take some viewpoints from your perspective, your end. Yeah, I'm coming, Shaimantik. So basically, this is different types of communication. So formal type of communication, you see, I mean, it is an official communication. I'm not coming to the advantages and disadvantages that you will say. But the formal types of communication is basically official communication, and this type of communication is conducted through some predetermined channel. Predetermined channel means it is fixed that the communication will be made in via this way. Like CEO will take a decision. That decision will be typed by CEO's PA. It will be circulate as a circular via the departmental heads to all the employees, like that I want to say. So that is basically formal type of communication. in many organizations you will get this, that there everything is in everywhere formal type of communication is followed. uh, so formal type of communication, you can say, it leads to adequate performance of job duties. Adequate performance of job duties. Mm, Therefore, it is very vital. Actually, it is very vital for the individuals to be well aware of this type of communication in order to augment their professionalism and achieve organizational goals. Okay, so that is, you can say, about formal uh, communication. On the other hand, informal type of communication, it is basically put into operation within the organizations, among colleagues, as well as among superiors and subordinates. Actually, there is no such predetermined channel. This is basically known as grapevine. This is sometimes unofficial or grapevine communication. Okay, I mean, I know you most of you, I think you know what is grapevine. So I'm coming to that in our next session. We will discuss about this. But your next session, what I want to get from you is that what is your opinion? Whether formal communication is we should follow or informal communication we should follow, and obviously we will discuss on something on grapevine and all that, how what it is actually and what is the importance of it. So be prepared for that. I'm coming in the next session. Join in the next session. Thank you for joining this session. Come to the next session.